Hello, I'm Ray Eldridge. I'm Dean of the College of Business at Lipscomb University. And it's my pleasure to introduce Dewayne Scott. Dewayne has many roles. He's an author, he's a visionary business leader, he's an entrepreneur, he's started 2 companies, he's currently president of the TDS and Associates. And that's how we've worked together recently with his role as a consultant and as he's worked with our faculty and staff, and particularly in the area of culture. And I think this is so important that we want to share it with you. He brings in a very unique mix, passion for business and passion for God. And I think you'll see that come out through these videos. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dewayne Scott, author of the book, Stepping Outside Your Comfort Zone. I've been sharing with you some thoughts from some of the chapters in that book, and today we'll share with you one of the final chapters of the book, Stepping Outside Your Comfort Zone. We talked about the invisible fence being kind of the foundation and the analogy, the parallel that we used to talk about the comfort zone. Just like the dog in the invisible fence has its comfort zone, individuals, human beings, have our invisible fences, and they're our comfort zones. And there's a lot of things that can keep us inside that comfort zone. We spent on the last video talking about fear, how it can keep us inside that. Who you're listening to is one of the chapters. Who has your ear can be one of those things that determines whether you can step outside your comfort zone. So we got to be listening to the right people many times to help us step outside that comfort zone. We've got to understand that to step outside that comfort zone, it's going to be uncomfortable. No pain, no gain is a kind of a law of life. And we've got to be willing to understand that concept. But there are some things that can keep us inside that comfort zone, and there's some things that can take us out. So I want to close with this thought of how do you get out of the comfort zone? How do you stretch? We've shared with you that new opportunity, new growth, maturity exists outside of that comfort zone. And one of the things we have to understand is that there's going to be some discomfort to get to that, right? Even when you look at a tree itself, okay? The fruit on the tree is not at the trunk level, it's out on a limb. You've got to go out on the limb to get the fruit. That same law of no pain, no gain, you got to sort of take some risk to get the reward is part of what this stretching ourselves outside this comfort zone is all about. But I've come to the conclusion, really there's 2 ways you get out of the comfort zone. Either you are pushed or we jump. Being pushed outside the comfort zone can be pretty traumatic at times. We're all experiencing some things right now that we never thought we'd be experiencing. COVID has pushed us individually, as a country, as a world, outside of our comfort zone. And you know what? With all the devastating pieces that has come with that and the challenges and the pain, you know what? We've learned some things. We're getting better at some things because of being stretched outside that comfort zone. We're learning some new skill sets. We're learning to pivot and do some things differently. We're learning to reprioritize some things. So there's benefit to anything that pushes us outside that comfort zone. But you know, when you're pushed outside your comfort zone, you don't have a lot of the choices in the matter, right? You could walk in tomorrow and your job says, we're cutting back, we're closing. All of a sudden, day 1, you're employed. The next day, you're unemployed. That's literally been pushed outside your comfort zone. But what I want us to understand is keep looking at everything that happens in your life. I want to challenge you to look at it through spiritual lenses. Because if you can look at it from a spiritual perspective, it will help you deal with anything that comes your way. And that's part of that growing, maturing process, is being able to navigate through the ups and downs of life. Even when we get stretched, it's part of that growth and maturing process. Another way we get outside that comfort zone is we can jump. And you may think, well, no, not me. Well, you know what? If you get some spiritual muscles developed, you will learn to start jumping outside your comfort zone. You'll learn to step outside your comfort zone. You'll learn that, listen, there's times when you'll take a risk, and you know it's a risk, but you'll take that step of faith because you say, listen, if God be for us, who can be against? There's all kind of promises in the Word of God that can encourage us to step outside there, to go to greater heights. We sing songs like, I'm pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day. That's about growth and stepping outside your comfort zone, higher ground. But you have to have a certain mindset to be able to be prepared for that. Because sometimes you'll get to step outside that comfort zone, and sometimes God will push you outside that comfort zone. But we have scriptures that such as, there's no temptation or crisis taken you but such as is common to man. But God, who is faithful, will not allow you to be stretched beyond that you're able, but will with that stretching provide a way of escape. So we have promises that tells us we will be able to make it. We'll make it. We've got to have a mindset of trust that allows us to be able to be stretched outside that comfort zone with our Creator. This shows you what an expanded comfort zone looks like. This may be our comfort zone, but once we're stretched and we've gone through a difficult time, we have new skill sets, new areas of faith, new areas of growth. We learn things about ourselves that we never knew that we would be able to do. And that's what that expanded comfort zone does for us. Yet now you have a new area to operate in. It's been said, even the difficult times of our lives, out of our greatest pain can become some of our greatest ministry to others because of pain that we have. And so that's why the scriptures says all things work together for the good. That doesn't mean every incident in our life is good, but I've heard it put this way once. God takes the good and the bad and puts it into batter to make us better. And we've got to understand that, listen, not every isolated incident in our life is good, but listen, He knows how to make all things work together to where your life could be a blessing to someone, that it can happen only through you. And that's what that daily stretching is all about. So stepping outside your comfort zone is a workbook that challenges us to understand that, listen, we've got to be able to embrace the uncomfortable. We've got to be okay with feeling the discomfort of moving beyond what we know to what we don't know. And then, folks, we become greater tools for His service in the kingdom. Once again, my belief is that our Creator is constantly trying to stretch our faith. And the book, Stepping Outside Your Comfort Zone, is about God, how God stretches our faith. I encourage you to take it, look at it, and let it bless your life. And as always, I want to close with the thought, don't just go out and look for a blessing, you be a blessing. And I think that can happen through being stretched outside your comfort zone. Thank you.
Scott Sager here, Vice President for Church Relations, wanting to say thank you to Dewayne Scott for these excellent presentations on stepping outside your comfort zone. I know you want to get a copy of this book, and to do so, you can go to DewayneScott.com. And while you're there, you might look around and you'll notice there's lots of other resources that are available there too. You can find a place where you can sign up for executive coaching for your congregation or nonprofit leadership. You can also sign up for a Zoom webinar for your entire congregation, where you can work for a couple of hours with Dewayne in helping your congregation learn how to take the next step in stepping outside the comfort zone. These are such critical times in the life of our church. I hope that you'll gain these resources so that we can be better equipped as congregations to look like Jesus Christ, stepping outside our comfort zone and making a difference in the world by being a blessing and not just looking for one. Thanks, Dewayne. We're so grateful, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.